Hello and welcome back to Man vs Film. It's time for another top 10 movies that you can watch this month, June 2021. So let's just jump right into it. Number 10, Highlander. Born in the Highlands of Scotland in 1518, Conor MacLeod is immortal. When he's wounded in a battle and doesn't die, he's banished from his village. He meets another like himself, Ramirez, who teaches him swordsmanship, and the only way to kill another immortal is to remove his head. Highlander is awesome, one of my favourite kind of movies because it was based in Scotland, Sean Connery, Christopher Lambert, and people lopping each other's heads off. It's all about a gathering which brings all the immortals together in mortal combat as they must fight so that there is only one left to win the prize. It's fun, it's got a great soundtrack by Queen, it's got some fantastic fight sequences and a wonderful bad guy in the form of the Kurgan. I love Highlander. Number 9, Jay and Silent Bob reboot. Jay and Silent Bob inadvertently sign away their name and rights to the new Blunt Man and Chronic movie. Now they head to Hollywood to stop the film being made. But along the way, Jay discovers that he's a father and must now rise to that challenge. If you haven't seen Kevin Smith's View Askew universe, this is probably a movie you want to stay well away from. If you know all about that kind of universe and the characters and you're familiar with Jay and Silent Bob, then this is a rather interesting, if not perfect, reboot of that kind of franchise. It's nice to see a lot of familiar faces back, and it kind of ticked all the boxes for me. Number 8, Men in Black International. After an eye-opening encounter of the third kind, the secret MI6 organisation's newest recruit, Agent M, finds himself under the wing of heroic Agent H in cosmopolitan London, when a shape-shifting duo of intergalactic assassins executes an alien aristocrat. Now it's up to the new Men in Black to save the day. Doesn't quite capture the magic of the original Men in Black, but it does have some fun moments, and I think the pairing of Tessa Thompson and Chris Hemsworth is just wonderful. They really bounce off each other remarkably well, and it's what keeps me interested in the movie. Lots of other secondary familiar faces as well, great special effects, and it's a fun if forgettable movie. Number 7, Brightburn. After a difficult struggle with fertility, Tori Breyer's dreams of motherhood come true with the arrival of a mysterious baby boy. Brandon appears to be everything Tori and her husband Kyle ever wanted. Bright, talented and curious about the world. But as Brandon nears puberty, powerful darkness manifests within him and Tori becomes consumed by a terrible doubts of her son. Simple premise for Brightburn is, it's Superman, but if he went bad. But it really kind of works. It plays on a lot of the Superman lore, if you're familiar with that. Even in passing, you'll find lots of nods to that kind of storyline. But it really does take a dark and twisted turn in the second half, one that's extremely atmospheric, extremely playful, and a hell of a lot of fun. Brightburn is a terrific movie that's easy to write off, but maybe you should stop and give it a watch. Number 6, SpiderMan Far From Home. Our friendly neighbourhood superhero decides to join his best friends and the rest of the gang on a European vacation. However, Peter's plan to leave superheroics behind for a few weeks are quickly scrapped when he begrudgingly agrees to help Nick Fury uncover the mystery of several elemental creature attacks, creating havoc across the continent. Far From Home seems to be one that really divides audiences. I find it as a bright, colourful superhero movie that is really kind of fun. It has a couple of interesting bad guys in amongst it, and I think they really can add to the storyline, and it really does create a kind of standalone Marvel Universe movie. Yes, it's built into the bigger picture, but it's one of those easy, breezy, fun, easy to watch movies that you can just throw on. It's bright, colourful, good action and fun characters. Number 5, Tremors. A small town gradually becomes aware of a strange creature which picks off people one by one. But what is this creature and where is it? At the same time, seismologists in the working area, she detects tremors. A creature lives underground and it can pop up without warning. Trapped in the townsfolk have no way of escape. I love Tremors. I think it's an amazingly well done movie. It's one of those monster movies where a lot of it is shot during the day, which itself is unusual. Even more unusual is the cast of characters. They're all fun. There's no really antagonistic element in amongst them. They're all characters that you kind of want to survive and see through this weird thing that's happening to them. The interplay between Fred Ward and Kevin Bacon is just delightful, and it's just a wonderful movie. Number 4, School of Rock. After being kicked out of his band, guitarist Dewey faces a mountain of debts and depression. He shares an apartment with his old band member Ned, who's now a substitute teacher. Dewey unfortunately answers the phone and accepts a substitute job as Ned at a private elementary school, where his attitude and hijinks have a powerful result on the students. He learns that they're all talented musicians and decides to form a rock band to win 10 grand in prize money at a local band contest. Jack Black was born to play Dewey in School of Rock. It's such an infectiously fun movie, directed by Richard Linklater, who brings together this cast of young child actors who are all really wonderful in their roles, and it's just one of those movies that is kind of silly and should be forgettable, but because of the energy of Jack Black, because of the earnestness of the storyline, and because of the sheer exuberance of the characters, I am drawn in every time. It's funny, it's endearing, and it's endlessly rewatchable. Number 3, Candyman. Helen Lyle is a student who decides to write a thesis about local legends and myths. She visits a part of town where she learns about Candyman, a one-armed man who appears when you say his name 5 times in front of a mirror. Of course, Helen doesn't believe all this stuff, but the people seem to be really afraid. When she ignores their warnings and begins her investigation in the places that he is rumoured to appear, a series of horrible murders begins. Can the legend be true? Candyman is one of the best horror movies of the 90s. You get a wonderful performance by Tony Todd as the Candyman, and it's a movie that is dripping in atmosphere with a wonderful, absolutely perfect score, which is unlike other horror movie scores, but is kind of haunting as well, along with the images that appear on this thing are just downright wonderful. This is a horror movie that really is fantastic, and with a kind of pseudo sequel coming out soon, I thought it'd be the perfect time to go back to the original. Number 2, Jaws. A great white shark descends to make a small beach resort town of Amity his private feeding ground. This greatly frustrates the town police chief, who wants to close the beaches and chase the shark away. He's thwarted in his efforts by the town's mayor, who finally relents when nothing else seems to work, and the chief, a scientist, and a grumpy old fisherman with revenge on his mind take to the sea to kill the beast. If you haven't seen Jaws, what the heck are you waiting for? It is a masterpiece of a movie. It works terrifically well and it will affect you. It's that great a movie. It's one that I assume most people have seen. It's one of my favourite movies of all time, and it's back on Netflix, and I feel that you must check it out. And if it's been a while since you've seen it, check it out again. It's remarkably effective at what it does. Great characters, storyline, direction, everything is just masterful. What more do I need to say? Number 1, Army of the Dead. After a zombie outbreak in Las Vegas, an ex-soldier must gather together a ragtag group of mercenaries and take the ultimate gamble by venturing into the quarantine zone before a nuclear strike to steal all the money that's been left in Vegas's vaults. It's an action movie by Zack Snyder involving zombies. It kind of puts together a lot of things that he's done well in the past. It's got a great cast of characters. And it's just a heist movie at its heart, which I really love as well, with a sense of dread and threat in it, thanks to these kind of different zombies that we get this time around. There's reasons as to why everything is laid up that way, but it's explained in the movie. The cast of the mercenaries are absolutely wonderful, from Dave Bautista all the way down to, say, characters that don't last too long in the movie but have a real impact. They're funny, they're endearing, you like this group of people. It's sad to see that not all of them make it to the end of the story. It's got some wonderful action, it's got moments that I hadn't seen done before in zombie movies that I really did kind of like. The aesthetic was terrific, and it's Zack Snyder doing what he does best, creating wonderful action movies filled with zombies and not as many super people as you would expect. I really liked Army of the Dead. It kind of ticked everything I wanted. Lazy Sunday afternoon movie, and just brightened up my day. So there we have it. 10 movies that I hope you find something there that you really want to watch this month. If there's something I've left off my list, let me know in the comment box below, and I will see you next time on Man v Film.